It's Democrats nearing a historic vote this weekend on overhauling health care, and the GOP failing to block the controversial slaughter solution, which means that Democrats could still use it if they want.
California Congressman Dreier is the ranking Republican on the Rules Committee, and boy, does he have a long day ahead of him, and he starts it early with us. The Rules Committee begins meeting at 10 o'clock this morning. What is the Republicans' primary objection? What is the biggest key to your fight today?
Well, gentlemen, if you had told me just a few weeks ago that March Madness would not only be carried on CBS, but on C-SPAN as well, I would have said that you were absolutely crazy. The fact of the matter is, it is true, in just 2 hours and 45 minutes, the Rules Committee is going to be convening, and we are going to be putting into place the process for this debate. And, you know, one of the things that I think the American people have learned in the past couple of weeks is that process is substance, and the idea of avoiding accountability on this very important vote is something that they don't want to see happen, and we're determined to hold people accountable. You know, when we look at this issue, a friend of mine in California has a great radio program, Dennis Prager, says, the bigger the government grows, the smaller the individual becomes. And the notion of seeing the government expand as it is with a program like this is something that I believe most Americans are strongly against. And while we've been focusing our attention on killing this bill, and that's critically important if we're going to do anything, it's important to note that there are 5 simple things that Monday morning, once we've killed this bill, that we will do to ensure that every American has access, better access to affordable health insurance. We want to allow purchase across state lines. We want to expand medical savings accounts. We want small businesses to be able to come together to get lower rates. We want to have pooling to deal with pre-existing conditions.
Right. And
we want real, meaningful lawsuit abuse reform. Those things will drive costs down, and we as Republicans want to work in a bipartisan way to make those things happen.
Congressman, Democrats, of course, came in on a wind of saying, look, you know, transparency. We want transparency, and trying to whether or not pass this thing using this slaughter solution or demon pass and trying to cram it through without a vote. Is this go against their pledge of openness and transparency?
Well, you know, it's interesting. When Nancy Pelosi was given the gavel, she said we would have the most open and transparent Congress in the history of the United States of America, when in fact, if you look at just the numbers, it has been the most closed Congress. The use of this so-called slaughter solution, the idea of trying to hide the vote on health care, by the way, the signature issue of this administration that we've spent a year talking about, they want to hide the vote on that? I mean, I just don't get it. And I was just telling one of your producers here before we came on the air that we have gone, never before in the history of the Republic have we had what has taken place in the last year and now a couple of months, and that is we've gone through this entire Congress without a single open rule debate on any issue that has come forward. They shut down the appropriations process, never done in the 220-year history. So you're absolutely right. We were promised this openness and transparency and accountability, and we've gotten the exact opposite. And the American people understand it now. And it began last summer when we were given that 300-page amendment on the cap and trade bill at 3 o'clock in the morning and told that we were going to vote on it in just a few hours. That's when people in your audience started chanting, read the bill, read the bill.
2,700 pages, Congressman. Good luck with that. That's like 2 times the size of War and Peace.
Better than us,
yeah, I know you've read it twice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Read it just this morning again. Congressman Dreier.